Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the channel. Once again, in the world of bass fishing, we find ourselves with a dark cloud hanging over our heads. There's been too much of that lately. I've known about this story over the past few days, and I've been working my best to try to get all the facts I can so I can bring you up to date to where we are now. So, let's get right into it. I'm sure most of you are at least somewhat familiar with the name Missile Baits. This company is the brainchild of Bassmaster's Elite Series angler John Cruz out of Virginia. Well, on May 31st, the director of sales for Missile Baits, a gentleman by the name of Byron Childers, he went kind of on a violent rampage that terrorized his neighborhood. This all occurred in kind of this smallish town of around 50,000 people called Columbia, Tennessee. Just prior to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, Childers exited his home on Somerset Lane and proceeded north up the road, armed with at least one firearm that we know of for certain. It was a long rifle equipped with a suppressor. Varying eyewitness reports also have him in possession of a handgun, also equipped with a suppressor. Reports state that he could be heard screaming and yelling as he was walking down the road, and as you can imagine, this drew considerable attention. As he neared the end of his road, he was met by who he said in a jailhouse interview was a known fishing buddy, somebody who he had delivered tackle to in the past. This gentleman's name was John Bidle, 46 years of age. When John talked to him and tried to find out what was going on, he raised his weapon at him and shot him, dropping him right in the middle of the street. He then walked up, close range to him, and fired several more rounds into him. As he continued to stand over Bidle's body, witnesses say they heard him yelling things like, "I got the demon from hell and that it's safe now." John Bidle's wife, Amy Bidle, heard the commotion. Well, she went outside to see if she could get to her husband. As you can imagine, she was screaming and frantic. Well, this did not sit too well with Childers. Childers grabbed her by the throat, drug her into the street, scraping her knees and her arms and choking her, screaming at her that she needed to calm down. And when he couldn't get her under control, he punched her in the face and literally shoved a vape pen down her throat. Also hearing all the commotion and wondering what on earth was going on was the neighbor directly across the street from the Bidle residence, a nice lady by the name of Stacie Wright. Stacie comes to her door to look out and find out what's going on. Childers sees her, raises his weapon at her, fires several shots at her, dropping her just outside of her front door. Her husband was inside and witnessed the whole attack. And then right on cue, the world's most unlucky ice cream truck driver turns to come down the road. Childers sees him, fires several shots into the ice cream truck as well. One of them penetrated the door, striking driver Mandu Johnson in the hip. It's unreal. However, also in the area was off-duty Metro Nashville police officer Jason Lyons. Upon hearing the shots ring out, Lyons proceeded to the area to investigate. He pretty quickly located Childers, who surprisingly got into the vehicle with Lyons and tried to commandeer the vehicle, grabbing at the steering wheel and even punching Officer Lyons in the face. Officer Lyons was able to retrieve his own sidearm. Upon seeing it, Childers fled on foot, but not for long, because very quickly on his heels was the Columbia Police Department, who then apprehended him without further incident. As you can imagine, when the Columbia Police Department showed up on the scene, things were extremely hectic. The first victim they found was Mr. Bidle, who had unfortunately passed from his injuries while laying there in the street. The second victim they found was a nice neighbor lady across the way, Stacie Wright. They transported her to the hospital where unfortunately she passed during surgery. The third person, they also transported him to the hospital as well, Mr. Mandu Johnson, the ice cream truck driver. Hopefully he'll make a full recovery. The other 2 remaining people, Amy Bidle, the deceased wife, and Officer Lyons, they were treated for their injuries there at the scene. While there could still be more to come, I'm going to read you a list of charges that Childers has been charged with to this point. Now, please bear with me on something. Due to YouTube guidelines, we can't say certain words, so bear with me. I'm sure you'll understand what it is I'm saying. These charges include 2 counts of first-degree M, 2 counts of aggravated assault resulting in death, 1 count of attempted first-degree M, aggravated assault, simple assault, carjacking, and possession of a firearm during a dangerous felony. Childers' next court date is set for June 18th at 3 p.m. Let's all do these families a solid and keep every single person affected in our prayers. They could really use it, as I'm sure they're going through a literal hell on earth. I can't imagine what these family members had to see. I want to thank all y'all for being here tonight. I'm going to forego my normal outro because it's just not appropriate. What I am going to say to you is keep your loved ones close, love your people. We'll see you next time. Good night.